Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have a 2024 Ford F-250 with the 6.8 liter V8. This is my first time actually driving this truck, so I'm excited to see what kind of fuel economy you can get. We are going to be measuring the 0 to 60 time, and I do have some footage from a 7.3 that I tested recently, and we're going to use that against this truck. Alright, let's go. So this is a 2024 model. I did a video on this truck recently, so if you would like to check out that footage, I kind of did a walk around on some of the features that this truck has. And one thing it does have is a backup camera fence. It's gonna come in handy because I have to back up into the road here. Now, I can't tell the difference on the engine sounds with these trucks, guys. They all kind of sound the same to me, between the 7.3 and the 6.8. And most people actually refer to this engine as the mini Zilla. So let's go ahead and take it out. I have my draggy, so we are going to get the 0 to 60 numbers for the truck here. So we'll see and compare that, like I said earlier, to the 7.3. But this truck does have a different transmission, and we'll discuss that as well here in a second. So this 6.8 liter has a cast iron block and aluminum heads, just like the 7.3 liter. Also, it's going to have 400 horsepower, 445 pound-feet of torque. So those are pretty good performance numbers, even in today's standards. The only thing I don't care about with this powertrain is the transmission. It's not the 10R140, and it's not that it's a bad transmission. I've never tested it out, never owned one, but I just know that it doesn't have the same power handling as the 7.3. And who wouldn't want more of an overbuilt transmission? So let's see how it does with the 0 to 60. Here we go.
30. 60.
60. I had a Chevy Silverado. Now that truck probably weighed, I don't know, it probably weighed maybe 600 or 700 pounds more than this truck did, in that ballpark. But it beat it to 0 to 60. This truck beat my Chevy. Now that Chevy had 401 horsepower, but 464 pound-feet of torque compared to this one at 445. And it could be the weight. Like I said, there's definitely a discrepancy here. I think this truck has, here, I think I can tell you right now. Yeah, this truck is probably about 1,000 pounds lighter. So, okay, that would make a difference. So yeah, my high country that I had was a lot heavier, so that's why. But yeah, this truck came in at about 9.2. I think my Chevy came in about 10 and a half, something like that. So yeah, it definitely beats it. But having the Goodyear Wrangler tires, these are 17-inch wheels. There's a lot of body roll. That's the only thing I don't like about these lower trim levels. I don't know if it's because they don't add sway bars. I don't know. Like there's definitely some sway, and it feels squishy. Like when you turn, you can feel like the truck kind of swaying. It doesn't feel good. So yeah, I don't know if I would keep this tire and wheel set up here. I think I might go to like maybe an 18 and a little bit stiffer sidewall. But I was impressed by that 0 to 60, guys. Like, even though this truck is a lot lighter, I felt like the transmission was pretty confident, and that's with it being not necessarily a lesser transmission, but it's not the 10R140. Right now we're in 10th gear, and I'm running, let me just show you guys the RPMs here. So we are at 75 miles an hour, and we're probably around 1,700 RPMs maybe. I don't know if I'll be able to get up to 80. But we're 9th gear, 10th gear. So we're like probably like 1,900 RPMs there. So I can't remember what the Ford Super Duty was, but maybe I'll try to show some footage of that here for you guys. But yeah, overall, this is performing extremely well. That V8 has a nice like growl to it too. And if you needed to pass someone at a higher speed, Oh yeah, oh, whoa. Okay, I might have spoke too soon about this 10R100, guys. This thing, wow, that was way better than a 10R140. Like, that was like instant. Man, don't judge a book by its cover, or don't judge a transmission by the number. I think some of the reason why this truck handles a little bit more sloppier on the highway is, one, the tires, but it also has a different leaf spring setup here. So it could allow for more sway, but you can see right here too, these sidewalls are pretty soft as well. So a lot of it probably has to do with the tires. So just keep that in mind when you are test driving these trucks. If you were to change off the tires, it might handle a little bit better. The 10-speed, which is the 10R140, I won't say that it's a busy transmission, but sometimes it gets a little lost, and it gets, I don't know, like sometimes it's in the wrong gear. And I noticed that when you get the 430 rear, it really is busy. Like, this truck has a 373, and yeah, I mean, I feel like I have power everywhere. Like, I just kind of accelerated this a little bit. It stayed in 10th gear. Yeah, this is not bad. Maybe Ford should have introduced this engine to the XLT trim. I mean, this might be a good bargain for someone. They could even lower the price by, you know, taking away that 7.3 as the standard engine too. This isn't bad. I guess we'll have to wait and see how well it tows. Maybe in the future, if I have a chance to grab a 7.3 and a 6.8, it'd be a good video to see how well it does. But so far, I'm impressed. Like, I might even like this better than my gas Chevy. Dare I say that? Wow, I said that out loud. Like, I think I like it better. This engine feels stronger for sure. I don't know why. It has less power, but it just feels stronger. But we're pretty much at the midway. I'll show you guys where we are when we stop too, okay? It looks like we got a green light here. So here's where we are right now. 15.8. That seems like it's a little bit better than where the 7.3 was, but keep in mind, guys, I have to go back the opposite direction, so I have to get up to 75 miles an hour. So that's really gonna hurt this gas engine with the acceleration. Now, I'm not gonna go wide open throttle again. I'm just gonna go, like, you know, just moderate acceleration to get on the highway. And depending on how long we stay here, this could obviously lower the fuel economy because there's a lot of traffic this way. So here's the payload for this truck, 3,257 pounds. And if you would like to see the full review on this truck, I will put it at the end of this one, and I'll show you all the numbers on the door as well. I'm still sitting in traffic. I wanted to show you guys this stationary so you guys can see how loud it is inside the interior, and then when I get up to 75 miles an hour, I'll show you guys again where we are. One thing I like about this engine, there's no cylinder deactivation like the Rams. There's no stop-start function, which you don't normally see on HDs anyways. And I feel as though this engine performs really well in front of this transmission. Like, I'm really shocked. The 373 rear, like, this is a perfect setup here. $65. About 68 to 69 on the window here. And 65 out back. These tires, by the way, are not loud. You can hear the tires, but they're not loud. Like, there's a little bit of a hum. And I always expect off-road tires to have a little bit of road noise because they're knobbier. So you're gonna have a little bit of a howl from them. But these aren't bad. I could do this all day long. But something about the Ford trucks too, they have great tow mirrors, so the visibility around the truck is great. I wish you can power that convex, because if you don't have anyone with you, like right now, like, it's too far up, so I need to kind of push it down. So you can't do that, you know, while you're driving the truck, obviously. Ram allows you to power those convex. And the steering feel, this truck feels sloppy. Like, I don't know why, but it just feels sloppy. It doesn't feel good. Like if I test drove this truck, I wouldn't buy it because of how it handles. It feels a little too insecure, and if you're towing a trailer, it can only potentially get worse, right? But we should be back in about 10 minutes, and right now so far we're doing about 13.7 MPG, and as I said, we're going to drop down because we have to get back up to speed. I'm going 75 miles an hour, so yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out when we get back to the dealership. Just pulled back in. 14.2 MPG, 13.8 miles driven. I almost put my foot in my mouth yet again because I had low expectations testing this truck. I'm actually surprised that Ford does not allow this engine to be available in maybe the XLT and the XL trims. Now, as far as the Lariat goes, I mean, the 7.3 is just the way to go. Don't get me wrong. But they could actually lower the price on the XLTs by allowing the 6.8 to be available. If I was towing a 8,000 pound trailer, I would 100% get this engine for myself. Like, this is a really good powertrain. The transmission is better than I expected. I think that was the biggest shocker for me. Like, that transmission shifted confidently. When I mashed it on the highway, it downshifts really quickly. It was very responsive. It wasn't busy at all. And the power delivery overall was great too. That 373 probably might be the factor for that too. And that's having these more aggressive tires as well. But again, would you learn from my video? Never judge a book by its cover.